Welcome back to what is this episode? Blank. I don't remember the name. I think it's either 4 or 5 of the Dat Boy Nice podcast. It's your boy Sue. No abstract today. He's doing what he has to do, so I'm gonna try to do this solo today. Get out another episode for you guys. Gonna talk about a couple things. This one actually will be a shorter episode because I'm by myself. It's my first time doing some shit like this, so bear with me. I'm gonna talk about a couple things. I want to talk about one. I'm gonna talk about this dumbass tier list and the implications or actually repercussions of hot take culture, if you want to call it that, because I do have some opinions on that. And then also want to talk a little bit about the Rangers, their start. Talk about that real quick. And then what I want to start with though is actually what was the most insane part of the beginning of the week, because I mean in these last couple years, weeks have felt like months. So it's like you could get out an episode every day, honestly, if you were on it, just from all the shit that's happening. But I really want to talk about not really, but like Jaden Ivey. When he came out of Purdue, he was one of my I envisioned him to be him and Cade. That's what I thought it was gonna be, and it actually looked like it was gonna be like that until the injury, all that shit last year. And just to see the fall that he has gone through because of that, it's sad. I do want to say it's sad. I mean, there's a lot of jokes that people can make that I made, because I mean the piss is not gonna matter on Judgment Day. That's really fucking funny, unfortunately. Like I mean, but it shouldn't. It clearly he's going through a very bad mental. I'm not a doctor, so I can't really say it, but it's like he really just needs like a support system. And I'm not saying that he shouldn't have one already. I mean, you're making tens of millions of dollars to play a children's game. It should be a little bit easy for you to get resources and to actually look for them if you want to find them. So I'll just say it's disappointing to see where he's falling, especially into this dumbass right wing grift that everybody does. I don't understand. Like it was so obvious what was about to happen as soon as he got waived. It was like I don't know, like that was like the most easiest thing to see that ever. Like as soon as, especially Shams, why the fuck would you even word it like that? Like clearly it was more than just when he's like about the anti LGBTQ shit. Like it was clearly more than that. He's clearly been a distraction in the locker room since he got traded from the Pistons. And honestly, I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall to see the Pistons locker room with Malik Beasley and fucking Jaden Ivey in the same locker room. I would have loved to see that. And it's a testament to JB Bickerstaff and that team in Detroit to have kept him toned down, or kept him had him feeling like he was heard, to where it didn't come out like this until he got to the Bulls. But clearly he's been a distraction. You're asking reporters if they had sex before marriage. You're telling people they're not righteous. You're calling that's not yes, freedom of speech is freedom of speech, but that doesn't mean freedom of consequence. You can't any other job, you can't just go around harassing people about your beliefs and shit like that and expect to still keep a job. So it's it's not. I don't understand where the shock is coming from. All that shit. I think it's just very disappointing the way it's come out. He was one of my favorite players. I wanted a jersey so bad. Glad I didn't get one, because I would have been throwing that shit away. I don't want to keep that shit. But yeah, I mean, all that to say, don't be scared to reach out to somebody. I mean, it's tough. Like, it's life. I mean, life is hard. You get shit thrown at you from every which direction, and it's not forgiving. It's not like you can just stop for a day and be like, I just need everything to stop and then just restart tomorrow from where I was the day before. You can't do that. Like, life just continues to go, and it's easy to fall into like a rut of just having to go through it because there's no, you can't stop, you can't get off the train. Like, once it's going, it's gonna keep going. So, don't be scared to reach out to somebody. And that's me, like, talking to myself more than anything, like, because I have that same issue, not to that degree, but like, it's a little hard to open up sometimes. So it shouldn't be. You should trust the people around you and know that they love you and they want you to succeed, and don't take it for granted. And yeah, that's really all I had to say about Jaden Ivey. Sorry to go off into a little tangent. Um, and then another thing real quick is LeBron. That was very, very disappointing to hear you say that around those white folk. Like, yeah, whatever, Memphis being destroyed by AI, you know, redlining, all that bullshit. But there's a rich history there. I mean, the birthplace of rock and roll, and you can't figure out something to do on a random Thursday. Like, don't be that way. Like, that's just fucked up. Like you have too big of a platform to be talking like that. Like, that's insane. It's insane. That's crazy. I don't understand why you even felt the need to say that. Like, you are you just trying to impress the white folk you're around, like, golfing with? Like, bro, like, get a fucking life, dog. Like, just like, that's weird. That was weird. That was weird to me. I don't know. Like, you have nothing nice to say about Memphis, but you have, I've heard nice things about Israel. That's crazy. That's crazy talk. It's crazy. I don't want to spend too much time on that because that just, like, I don't know, man. Like, the way these black millionaires, black billionaires, the way they become so out of touch, especially coming from where he came from, like, it's like, I don't know, man. Like, obviously I've never had money, never had like real privilege like that, so I can't say that it's easy to stay in touch when you have so many resources to not be around anymore, so you can just forget what it was like. But that, I just think that's very, very irresponsible of someone with his platform, of his so-called fucking activism that he has tried to portray himself as. Like, it's just disappointing. That was very disappointing as somebody who I don't ever really see athletes or celebrities as role models, but I know that some people do see these athletes as role models and people to look up to. So it's like, if you're gonna be something like that, if you're gonna portray yourself as somebody to be looked up to as, I think you should be a little bit more cognizant of what you're saying, of what you're putting into the media. Like, I just think so. I don't know. That's just me. But enough about that too. Tiger Woods, you're a real fucking geeker, and that shit's insane. Get a fucking driver, bro. I don't know. Like, if you're gonna be out doing shit, like, why not just have a driver? I don't know. I don't like taking drugs and driving. So if I don't know I'm gonna be on drugs or drinking, I'd rather just have a driver. Cause why would I want to, like, bother my motor functions having to do this extra shit when I could just be chilling in the backseat of a car? Still on drugs, still enjoying the view. I could actually enjoy the view. I don't know. I think that's stupid too. Tiger, you fucking idiot. But we've already known that. Now, I want to talk about this tier list real quick. Ignore my bookmarks because that's not even the real sauce anymore anyway. Those are old. That's old sauce. I mean, one of them isn't, but that's old sauce right there. If you need real sauce, look it up, find it yourself. But would Larry Fitzgerald be the greatest wide receiver in your franchise's history? I think this is one of the worst tier lists I've ever seen. Like, obviously he got some right, but there's so many on here that is just like, why the fuck would it even be in, like, a probably not, or like a argue either way, like, or even probably, like, I'm gonna go through every team off the top of my head because I don't really feel like doing that much research, but that I don't think that it's, I'm gonna go through everyone. Is it obvious? Is it not obvious? We'll see. Now, the Bills, Andre Rison, I believe was a Bill, unless I'm getting the name wrong. But I I mean, I don't think that's obviously. I don't like, especially that team with Jim Kelly going to 4 different Super Bowls. I don't think um, that's an obviously thing for Larry Fitzgerald to be better. And I know, Larry Fitzgerald gets a lot of like leeway because he never really had a true franchise quarterback other than that 1 year of Carson Palmer. Maybe I got to look back at the stats, but like he never really had like a consistent quarterback. Kurt Warner, Carson Palmer, all this other like then you have fucking Josh Rosen fucking before Kyler Murray, and then you're always on a carousel of receivers. But I mean, he was still a great Hall of Fame talent. But Bills, I wouldn't know if I would put that obviously. I probably would put that in probably. Baltimore, if we're not counting the Browns, I mean even if we're counting them as the Browns old team, I would probably say that is a little obvious. They never really had like a true number. They've always relied on like their defense run game. So I give that one to them. Bears, probably give it to them too. Only one that I could really think of is like Brandon Marshall. And then like, but I wouldn't say he was better than Larry Fitzgerald. So I'll let that one slide too. Carolina, no, no. At best, that would be an argue either way, and that's because because that's Steve Smith, man. I would probably put Steve Smith and Larry Fitzgerald into the same category. I don't know, call that a hot take or not. I don't really give a fuck, but I would probably do that. The Jets. I mean, maybe I gotta hold on. I don't know if that'd be obviously either. To be honest with you, Green Bay, that's not obvious. I mean, Sterling Sharp, even though the longevity wasn't there, he definitely was an amazing receiver. Devontae Adams, that's not obvious to me. That's an argue either way or probably, but it's not obvious. Same thing with the Bengals. I think Jamar Chase is probably going to end up having a better career than him. I know he has Joe Burrow, whatever. Shut the fuck up. I don't care. But I think Jamar is better, and also AJ Green. I don't think that's obvious. That's not. I think they've had good receivers. They've had great receivers. I don't think that's obvious. I think that's just, yeah. I say probably argue either way for that one as well. Colts. That's probably not or no. I don't think Larry Fitzgerald was better than Marvin Harrison. I think he was on the same tier as Marvin Harrison, and then you even could throw Reggie Wayne in there. So I wouldn't. That's not obvious. Like Broncos. Obviously I might go and slide that. I don't know. I don't know really of too much of the Broncos like wide receiver history. I mean, they had Shannon Sharp, but tight end. So, I'll probably let that one slide. Raiders really better than Tim Brown? I don't know actually. I don't know if I would put that in the obvious either. Hold on, sorry. Yeah, I don't think I would put Tim Brown. Like I think that's probably in the one of the truest sense. That's an argue either way. Um, Chargers, yeah, I guess, man. You can throw that in there. Throw that obvious. Now Jaguars, I don't know if I might catch some flack for this one, but is he better than Keenan McCardell? That's like another argue either way for me because those two dudes, Jimmy Smith, Keenan McCardell, like they were, and this is a younger franchise, so it's like it's easy to throw them niggas in obvious because they haven't been around for a long time. So whatever, dog. But I would say that's either probably or argue either way. Um, and then Texans, that's not obvious. Andre Johnson was a amazing receiver. I would probably put him and Larry, like that. Him and Larry are on the same tier to me. I would say. Um, and then Andre gets bonus points for being the fuck out of Cortland Finnegan. Sorry, I mean he just does. I know he doesn't like talking about it, but that shit was funny. So he gets extra points. Dolphins. What do you keep? I don't know. Like niggas was saying, he's like okay, because I'm gonna say the same thing when it comes to Chiefs as well. I don't really think Tyreek Hill was that amazing of a receiver. I'm not gonna like. I mean, yes, he had amazing. Like he has amazing. He's a great athlete, amazing fucking athlete. But do I think like he's an amazing like the greatest receiver in a franchise's history? I don't know. I don't know. I've never really been impressed with his hands. I don't know. So I guess I wouldn't say this obvious, and I also don't know if you would put Tyreek in. Like, would you count Tyreek for the Dolphins, or would you count him for the Chiefs? I mean, obviously I'd count him for the Chiefs, but would you count him for the Dolphins? I don't know. Anyways, Seahawks, Steve Largent. I don't know if that's obvious, because I mean Steve Largent was Steve Largent, but I guess man you could toss that into obvious, but they've had great moments. I mean, yes, I'm not gonna put Golden Tate over fucking Larry Fitzgerald, but it's a lot closer than you would think. I mean, that nigga was very very good. So whatever, you could throw that obvious or probably, but I'm leaning more towards probably on that one, edge of obvious. Rams. As crazy as that nigga is, I don't know if Larry Fitzgerald is better than Puka. I know the career just started, so it's hard to say that, but like I don't know if I would put as far as for like raw skill and like what I would probably put them on the same tier to be honest with you. So that's more of like an argue either way. And I know Puka still has years to go. He still hasn't signed his fucking next contract, but you know, that guy's ball don't lie. I mean, the nigga's good. I mean, what can I say? I mean, he's on the way. And the same for the Seahawks. You know, JSN, he's on the fucking way. Like, I mean, you can't really. Bro almost broke 2,000 yards. I mean, you can't argue against that right now. Like, it just. I don't know. These are more teetering on probably than obviously. It's like I'm leaning more into probably than obviously, you know. New York, the Giants. I guess. Yeah, I guess it's obvious. I mean, unless you want to say Plaxico, but I don't think Plaxico was better than not Steve, Larry. Saints. Yeah, I guess. I mean, if you want to throw that short ass prime and in of Mike Thomas in there, I guess. But I don't know. I think that's probably obviously. Titans. Yeah, I guess they've had some bad luck with receivers, but AJ Brown, you know, you know. But I don't think he was there long enough to even say that. So, whatever. Buccaneers. Honestly, and I know Mike Evans is just like, you know, he's Mike Evans, and you know he has his drops and whatever, dog. He's not as consistent as you could say Larry Fitzgerald was, but as far as for drops, I mean, yards is yards. And nigga, 10 straight years of 1,000 plus. There's nothing to sneeze at, even though you know it's all like you know they fed him, yeah, whatever. Like you could say whatever, like they stat padded or whatever, but it's still an accomplishment to have, and it's still a testament to his longevity in this league. So I wouldn't say obviously to the Buccaneers. I would even toss that into probably argue either way. The Commanders. As much as I like Santana Moss, I don't think so. You know, Randall L. I don't think they were better than Fitzgerald, so I guess you could throw in obviously. Same with Kansas City. I mean, I don't know too much of their wide receiver history, other than like Tyreek and like Dwayne Bowe and shit like that. So I'd keep that in obviously as well. Now the Browns. I mean, I mean, like, was he better than Josh Gordon? It's not. It's not Josh Gordon's fault that Roger Goodell hates weed more than he hates niggas beating women. So I don't know, man. Like, what? If we got to see more Josh Gordon, like, come on, man. And you can't throw the quarterback shit in there for Larry Fitzgerald for that, because that nigga had fucking Terrell Pryor thrown to him. Like, if we had the chance, I couldn't say that Josh Gordon might not have had a better career than Larry Fitzgerald. Um, Sorry, I'm almost. Okay, sorry. Got some groceries on the way. Gotta make sure I'm watching for that. Probably now moving into probably category. To I don't know, man. Like, I don't think Larry Fitzgerald was better than T.O. I don't know if that's. I think the Eagles would probably be in an argue either way for me as well. Excuse me. I mean, T.O. was great, man. Oh wait, fucking forgot about the Bengals. Ocho Cinco. I don't think he was better than fucking Chad Johnson. Now that I'm thinking about it, like, my bad. I didn't even fucking go that deep back. But yeah, no, I don't. Yeah, bring them Bengals coming down to argue either way. I think. Yeah, Eagles I'll put argue either way as well. The Steelers. I'm sorry, man. Talking straight football, I don't think he was better than Antonio Brown. I say probably. I say that's a probably not. And then Cowboys. Sorry, it's gonna be a fuck no for me. Probably not into no. I mean, Michael Irvin, call him the original slant boy if you want to, but that nigga was going over the middle in that era. Either we can the slant, you catching the slant, or we're going back to the hood. I mean, you can't deny that. And he, like, hey, 3 Super Bowl rings. Can't deny it, man. That's either probably not or no. I'm not putting Michael Irvin. I'm not putting Larry Fitzgerald over Michael Irvin. I'm sorry. Argue either way. This is probably the worst category as far as for like the original tier list goes. This is probably the worst one, because you're not putting Larry Fitzgerald over Calvin fucking Johnson. I'm sorry, you're just not. You're just not. They played in the same era. They played against the same cornerbacks. They like you can't. You can't. You just can't. I mean, Calvin was fucking Calvin Johnson, bro. He, like, yes, he had a better quarterback throwing for him than Matthew Stafford, but no, and I'm a Lions fan. Whatever, call me a homer if you want to. That's not an argue either way. That's a no. That's like a solid no for me, and it's gonna be the same for the Falcons as well. Off the strength of Julio Jones. Don't even get me started on Roddy White, because I think Roddy White and Larry Fitzgerald are probably on the same level to me. So that's probably not into a no, but I'm leaning more towards no on that one. Probably not. Vikings, fuck no, he's not better than Randy Moss, dude. I'm sorry, he's just not, and I don't think he's gonna be, like, when it's all said and done. I think Justin Jefferson's gonna be have a better career than him as well. And I know the end of last season was a little for him, but 9 is 9, so. But no, Randy Moss. There's just a fuck no, bro. I'm sorry, he's not like. That's gotta be in the no. And if you're counting Randy Moss with the Patriots as well, which is why I'm thinking the Patriots are in probably not too, because they, Randy Moss. I would keep them in probably not. Just because Randy Moss wasn't there as long as I would put that career more into the Vikings than I would in the Patriots. But, undefeated season's undefeated season. So I mean, hey man, Randy Moss, hey man, off the strength, I'll probably keep him to probably not. And then no for the 49ers, obviously that's a no. He's not better than Jerry Rice. But yeah, that's my opinion on these on this tier list. And which brings me to my next point. A hot take culture, I believe. I was thinking about this last night, actually, because Um, I think in this era of like wanting to get clicks and I need these interactions, I need these Elon bucks. It's kind of destroyed the way people are looking at development in not only the NFL but the NBA as well. I don't think it's really hit the MLB as bad because you got the minor league, so it's like you have to work your way through the system anyway to become that 1% in the league. But I think, especially with the NFL, the season being so short, it's like you don't. There's no. Everybody's either a bust or a Hall of Famer after their first year, and that's just not the way it should be. It's stunting people's growth. Like you can't expect these people to, like coming out the league, coming out the draft to be amazing. Yes, every draft is gonna maybe have that generational player that's gonna be amazing from day one, but I don't think that we should be basing our critique of every player off of the same thing because then that's why you have situations like Sam Darnold. That's why you have situations like Baker Mayfield. Well, I don't Baker Mayfield's and whatever. Like he did have those bad years. Like he was bad. Like that just is what it is. But when it comes to like, but I mean that's kind of what I'm talking about though because like when he left the Browns, it was just like expected that he was just gonna be amazing. So how like him being bad is like now he's just the worst player ever. Then he goes back to Tampa Bay, shows that he can still play, and it's like obviously, like obviously the talent is still there. Um, I think especially like Sam Darnold, like yes, these were high draft picks, but that doesn't mean that they have to produce immediately. That's like expecting that is insane. Like these are niggas that were playing against accountants, lawyers. Like yes, every college team has NFL players on it, but not to the degree of an NFL fucking team. Like the joke about the best college team beating the Browns is just like that just is. It's a joke. Like you can't expect a college player to come out and be amazing. You can't. You just can't. And I think that's like a lot of the reason why the league is the way it is right now because teams have fallen into that like, oh, they're not producing immediately. We got to move on. We got to move on. We got to move. Super Bowl windows are only 2 to 3 years long when it doesn't need to be that way. Super Bowl windows don't need to be 2 to 3 years long. If you build through the draft instead of building through free agency and like supplementing your draft with the free agents, it's a little bit easier to maintain a playoff Super Bowl window, I believe. You know, so I would say that like expecting, and then like just saying like inflammatory things like that tier list, and then like after that it spawned tier list after tier list after tier list of like the dumbest shit ever. Like the quarterbacks one, like is would I know I'm like paraphrasing real quick, but I know it was a Vikings fan. I get it, I get all that, but like that's kind of the issue. It's like there's no reason to like put these players onto these insane pedestals that they may not ever reach, that they may reach in more than what your expected time frame would be. Some players take 3 to 4 to 5 years to become the player that they're supposed to be, and that's okay. That's why you supplement the draft with veterans and free agency to help them, to guide them. It's not like you shouldn't be building your team through free agency. Yes, the Rams did that, won a Super Bowl, whatever, dog. Like that, yes, it can work, but it's not. I don't think it's a sustainable business model to do that. I think drafting, developing through the draft, helps a lot more. I just went off into a crazy tangent, but I mean, yeah, that's a little bit. That's basically what I got today. Rangers looking good yesterday. I mean, gotta figure out the bullpen. We're back in another. It's in God's hands. Once the starter leaves. Good thing our starters look like they have some stamina on them. I like Gore. I like Latz. His last start was really good. DeGrom start was good. I mean, looking good. Kumar on the mound today. So we'll see how he goes in his first start in the season. I don't think it's time to worry about Evo yet. I think you give Evo at least 5 starts. If he's not there yet, then we start to worry. He is coming off of that injury. So I'm giving grace. He's been amazing. and I have faith that he'll figure it out. This last start was like out of the two he's had so far. This last start was not a good start. I wouldn't say his first start was a bad start though. I say that was a, unfortunate 2 pitches that ended up losing the game, but I don't think it was a bad start. I think he kept them in the game, especially after the 2. We had a chance. Whatever, the bats needed to wake up, and they didn't wake up in time. Jock Peterson, like, sorry to beat a dead horse, but that nigga's gotta go. Like, I don't know what blackmail he has on this team. He just gotta go. Like, it's not good. Andrew McCutchen has shown a little bit. I know he's older. Well, they're both old, so I don't really give a fuck. That's not good. That's not good enough. That's not good enough for me. I think Andrew McCutchen should be our everyday starter. And even if he's not going to be as good as I think he's going to be, if he was our everyday DH, I think he'd be a hell of a lot more of a competitive at bat than Jock Peterson is. It just looks like he's lost. I don't know, man. Like, batting 114 since you came to the team. There's been a whole season. I don't know, man. I like that Young's waking back up. That's good. I kept keeping stocks in him. Wyatt looking good. Nimmo, the racist, looking good too. I mean, Carter, all that. I think this is gonna be a pretty good season. I think we have a chance to win the division. I think we have a chance to. I think maybe go on a run if we get if pitching comes together like it was last year. It doesn't have to be as good as it was last year. If it's almost as good as it was last year, and the bats are just better than they were last year, I think we have an amazing chance to make a run. I don't know, World Series, I don't know. Making a run, I think so. I think we're going to make a run for it. I am also... One last thing. Pistons, real quick. I don't know. I don't think I expected Cade to come back this for regular season. I'm kind of glad he's not going to be coming back because... I'd rather him be fully healthy for the playoffs. Because, I mean, you clinched. More than likely, you're going to be the 1 seed, if not the 2nd seed. So, I think it's worth letting him sit, letting Danis keep this rhythm that he's starting to get. Let Duncan keep finding this rhythm that he's found. Herter, hey, man, that boy is nice. That Trajan, I mean, I can't be mad at you for getting him. That was a great pick. He's finding his rhythm. I think keeping Cade out these last games is going to be amazing for the bench when he comes back. Because then I don't think there will be a fall off once you go from Cade and Duncan to Danis and Herter. And then you still have Stewart coming back. Paul. Hey, man, that guy is a starter on some other teams right now. And that's our third center. Like, I think this bench is deep. I think this team has a chance to make a run. And I didn't even project them going on a run this year. I thought they'd get out the first round. I didn't think, my thinking at the beginning of the season was that they weren't going to be the number 1 seed. So I'm thinking, they make it out the first round, give a run in the second, maybe make it to the third round. But my hope was winning a series and then go everything in there is cherry on top. I think this team actually has a chance to make a run at the finals, if not an ECW, like ECW, ECF. What I think about fucking wrestling for? Sorry, it's early. But yeah, that's what I have today. Appreciate everybody who's gonna listen to this. Yeah, like, subscribe. Abstract should be back next week. Should have some more topics, more things to talk about. I didn't talk about Brad Holmes today, even though I definitely could have, because I mean, whatever. I'm not gonna talk about it. But right, we'll see y'all next week. Hopefully, me and the Abstract. Perhaps we'll have some more guests on. And yeah, my first solo podcast ever in life. I just yapped at the screen. I think that was actually pretty fun. So I appreciate everybody who comes out to listen. This is Dat Boy Nice, or this is Suno with Dat Boy Nice, and y'all have a great week.